Hi Libra, this is Tisch Aitken, and this is your monthly horoscope for the month of August. We begin the month with a lot of strong Mars energy. It's transiting in your opposite sign of Aries, where it entered on June 27th and will remain until January 6th. It's occupying your house of relationships and partnerships, and it's cardinal fire. Mars loves being in Aries. It's good for getting a lot accomplished, but it can be very fiery, and it's going to make more challenging influences in the month of August. However, bear in mind that Mars will be retrograde from September 9th until November 13th, and that's a lot more challenging because it's going to set off the Capricorn tale that began in the beginning of the year of death and rebirth and metamorphosis, and it also does not like being retrograde and doesn't like being retrograde in Aries and the sign it rules. So use this month to target projects. So on the 1st of August, transiting Mercury in Cancer, and it's been in Cancer since the end of May in your house of career. It was retrograde from June 18th until July 12th, so a lot of review around your professional goals. And the total solar eclipse also took place in that house, which can be very unpredictable. It can be a turning point, could be new beginnings, because it was a total solar eclipse with the North Node only a degree away, but eclipses again can be wild cards. So a lot of energy, but could be challenging, could be big decisions or crisis in some cases. So the good news is we're out of eclipse season and Mercury is no longer retrograde in that house. But on the 1st of August, lay low. On the 3rd of August, we've got a full moon in Aquarius that takes place at 11 degrees and 46 minutes of Aquarius, and it falls in your 5th house of love affairs and romance and creativity. And this could bring fruition to creative projects you began earlier in the year. Saturn briefly entered Aquarius from March 23rd until July 1st and was occupying this house for you. It will re-enter that house at the end of the year on December 17th and remain there until March of 2023. So you got a brief glimpse of this, but this could bring fruition. Maybe you were talking to somebody and you're taking the relationship to another level. Maybe you've been working on a project and that comes to completion, but that's where the full moon is. And then on the 4th of August, we have Mars in Aries forming a square to Jupiter, which is at the bottom of your chart in the house of home and family. And that's where all these planets in Capricorn are for you and have been all year. And that's where the restructuring and collapsing of old paradigms and repair and renovation is for you in home, family, and real estate. And so Mars square Jupiter will escalate the Mars energy in all of us and make people more fiery, but it does help to escalate and expand willpower. On that day, transiting Mercury exits Cancer and exits your house of career and enters your house of friends and groups and networking and organizations, where it will remain until August 19th in the sign of Leo. So that's excellent for all forms of networking and meeting new people. The sun is transiting in that house for you. It has been since July 22nd and will be until August 22nd. So that's good for meeting new people and networking, like the social Libra that you are. And on the 5th of August, transiting Venus meets up with the North Node of Destiny in your house of higher learning and manifesting and hope and teaching and publishing and self-promotion and publicity. So that's excellent energy for promoting yourself, for manifesting, for going back to school, for maybe thinking of teaching something that you're skilled at. So this is an excellent energy. That's a good day to target for partnering. On the 13th of August, transiting Mars forms a square to Pluto. That's a combative aspect. Mars again in your house of relationships squaring Pluto at the bottom of your chart. That's an aspect of combat. Lay low. All of us should lay low on that day. On the 15th of August, we have transiting Uranus in Taurus, stationing retrograde at 10 degrees of Taurus in your house of other people's money, joint resources, blocked wounds, and healing. And we feel that energy 5 days before and 5 days after, and that can be, Uranus is the great awakener. It's the planet of ingenuity and brilliance, but it's also chaos, and it's right near that Mars-Pluto square. So that's going to be kind of intense. But then we have on the 16th of August, transiting Mercury in Leo in your house of friends and groups, forms what's known as a trine, a very lucky influence to Mars in your house of partnerships. And that's excellent for partnering with other people. And the Sun in Leo also is trining Mars at that time, and that's excellent. The Sun meets up with Mercury in Leo on the 17th of August, and that's excellent for all forms of communication and marketing yourself. And on the 18th of August, we have a wonderful new moon that takes place in your house of wishes and networking and community, and that occurs at 26 degrees of Leo and defaults back to the total solar eclipse that took place on August 21st of 2017, and that was at 28 degrees of Leo, and that's the royal fixed star known as Regulus, which is the kingmaker or the queenmaker. So that's a very creative, heart-based new moon in your house of wishes and friends and groups. And on that date, transiting Venus, which is in your house of career at that time, forming a sextile, which is an aspect of opportunity, to Uranus and Taurus. Very creative energy. So use that new moon to set intentions, to plan new things, to manifest. Excellent day. And then on the 24th of August, we have transiting Mars squaring Saturn in the sky. That's an aspect of frustration. That's better. The better use of that would be to work on projects that need a lot of attention and focus and take a lot of time, that you don't expect immediate results, because it can be very frustrating and people will feel annoyed with that energy. But on the 25th, we have very lucky influences in that we have transiting Mercury in its home sign of Virgo in your house of imagination, forming a trine to Uranus and Taurus in your 8th house of wounds and healing and money. And that can be good for manifesting financial opportunities. That can be excellent for doing healing work. It's very inventive energy. And that day also, Venus at the top of your chart in the house of career, where it will be until September 6th, forms an opposition to Jupiter at the bottom of your chart. And those are the two benefics. Can be a bit excessive, but can also be very creative energy. And on the 27th of August is another beautiful date, because Venus in Cancer at the top of your chart in the house of career forms a trine to Neptune in Pisces. And Neptune is in your house of work and daily routine. And so that's excellent for getting things accomplished professionally, for tapping into all your creative energy, and just also very good for romantic energy as well. Very lovely energy. But on the 30th of August, we have Venus in Cancer at the top of your chart, forming an opposition to Pluto. There could be breakups or endings with that energy. And transiting Mercury in your 12th house of hidden information forms an opposition to Neptune. And that can be confusing, and that can be challenging energy. So around secrets at work or miscommunication. So lay low on the 30th as well. But there's a lot to work with this month, and we want to plan things as much as we can before Mars retrogrades in September. I wish you a lot of luck, and thank you very much.